June is usually one of the best months in the video game calendar. Even if the releases are light, we normally have E3 where tons of awesome games are announced or played for the first time, but this year, the industry has failed us and E3 has been cancelled, so all we have to hold on to are the games coming to retail. The good news is June delivers in spades, with tons of incredible options to choose from. Hide your wallet. The reviews are in, and Street Fighter 6 is a winner. If you passed over the last couple installments, now is a great time to jump back in, particularly since you've probably lost some muscle memory, and its new control options are great for noobs. That will get you in the door, but the brand new single-player campaign, where you create your own fighter, and the robust but intuitive multiplayer options will keep you locked down. It's the best and most accessible Street Fighter in a long time. It's made to be enjoyed by everyone, so jump back in the ring and throw down with some of your favorites. Memorial Day is just behind us, but we're not sure if playing Amnesia the Bunker is the best way to pay respects. This first-person survival horror game takes place during World War I. You play as French soldier Henry Clement, and as the game's title suggests, he's been trapped in a dark and dank underground bunker. As luck would have it, the bunker is haunted by a creature called the Beast that isn't the biggest fan of light. You'd better keep those generators gassed up because there's not much ammo to fend off the baddies that come calling in the dark. Amnesia games always pile on the atmosphere, so this one's not for the faint of heart. Just like with Street Fighter 6, reviews are already in the wild for Diablo 4. They're stellar, but you probably already guessed that because you had ample chance to try it in its various early access periods. If you thirst for a meatier story than what was featured in Diablo 3, this certainly fits the bill with its narrative-driven campaign. New to the franchise is an MMO-type design where you exist in a persistent world with other players. With 5 classes, extensive character customization, improved inventory management, a massive open world with 5 regions to explore, mounts, a gigantic endgame, and so much more, it's hard to find a better value proposition this month. You normally wouldn't expect June to be a great month for horror games, but they can be a great contrast for blazingly hot days sitting inside with air conditioning. Layers of Fear is an interesting proposition in that it remakes the first 2 games in the Layers of Fear franchise into one coherent package. You must explore a haunted Victorian mansion as the painter and try to find the supplies needed to complete your masterpiece. The only problem is that the mansion won't sit still. Psychological first-person horror is the name of the game here, and this package comes complete with all the DLC from the first 2 games and a brand new chapter for a finishing touch. When Electronic Arts bought Codemasters back in early 2021, we questioned its sanity. But since then, the strategy has become a little more clear and fruitful. For starters, F1 is one of the fastest growing sports in the world, and Codemasters has already delivered 2 F1 games, and F1 23 is the 3rd. For this lap around the track, Cody's has brought back a fan favorite single-player campaign called Breaking Point. The entire game is also playable in VR if you're lucky enough to have an HMD. Of course, the foundation is always going to be there, and Codemasters acts as a great pace vehicle when incorporating all the annual changes and tweaks to the sport. This year is looking like the leap year for the franchise, so get in the starting grid. Aliens video games are normally either gory first-person shooters or gory third-person survival horror games. Both work quite well with the IP, but no developer has tried squad-based strategy. Until now, anyway. In Aliens Dark Descent, you play the role of commander and the squad is your weapon. It's up to you to direct the unit to make sure you're managing resources and setting up the team for future success. Out on the battlefield, you can slow down time at any moment to ponder tactical decisions as you instruct squad members that take your instructions and then act on their own accord using advanced AI. Suppressing fire, sentry guns, and other equipment are the tools of your trade, and every choice you make trickles down to the rest of the game. Manage the health and stress levels to keep your squad alive and sane. When you think of Crash Bandicoot, you probably envision a whirling rodent bashing boxes and bounding through platforming levels, but Crash Team Rumble expands his repertoire to MOBA-sized proportions. This team-based competitive party game has you battling in massive arenas to collect a cache of the coveted Wampa fruit before the other team beats you to it. But there are twists and turns in the game's design to mix things up and provide for advanced strategies. We thought it looked silly until we got into the beta and actually gave it a go, and we were pleasantly surprised by what we played, and presumably, it's only improved since then. It may appear out of character for the orange varmint, but once you start playing, familiarities emerge. It's been almost 7 years since Final Fantasy XV took us on a bro trip, and it's taken pretty much the full 7 years to forget it. The good news is that Final Fantasy XVI looks like it's going to fix every single issue we've had with modern games in the franchise. It ditches its former Dayglow ditziness for a more serious, hard fantasy tone. It allows us to use the iconic summons in new and interesting ways. It gives us a dog companion to obsess over. And best of all, it's finally taking real-time combat seriously, as the combat lead is a former Devil May Cry developer. The story is serious and full of intrigue, and overall, we haven't been this excited for a new Final Fantasy in over 20 years. While Sonic's 3D outings are typically hit or miss, but hopefully now headed in the right direction, his 2D games are almost peerless. Sonic Origins Plus is the second compilation of those excellent games, and it's a big one, with 16 total releases included. Now, to be fair, 12 of those are from the Game Gear era, but you also get Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and Sonic CD in high definition with all new opening and ending animations. It also includes previously released add-on content for the completionists. It's a beefy package that's well worth the investment. The WWE franchise has been on wobbly footing for years now, but with no direct competition, it doesn't have much of an incentive to improve. That all changes with AEW Fight Forever. This upstart wrestling league is taking on the WWE on the airwaves, and now it's entering the digital squared circle as well. The good news is it's being developed by Yuke's, the studio behind the legendary WWE No Mercy. It features a no-frills control scheme that harkens back to that N64 era of grapplers. There will be around 50 wrestlers to choose from, 10 match types, a huge career mode, online play, and so much more. This babyface is trying a heel turn on wrestling video games in its debut match. Thank you for checking out our rundown of games worth buying in June 2023. Believe it or not, there are dozens more games worth investigating this month, and there's no better way to do it than at sifted.net, where you control the algorithm. If you like what we're doing, please head to patreon.com/sifted and give us a monthly pledge. We'll see you again in July.